Hello all. I want to quickly talk about something that a lot of people don't really take into consideration when they're managing their to-do list or their events or things of that nature. Understanding which mode you're in, how to really cultivate that to get the most out of it, and how to prevent switching costs that are just daunting and take up too much time and too much of your energy. Let's do it. Ultimately, one of the big problems I see that people sometimes do naturally pretty well, but other times they just let it completely take over their schedule, is understanding which mode you're in. Now, I'll tell you sometimes that you probably do this naturally without even thinking about it. When you're going grocery shopping, when you're trying to get eggs, milk, cake batter, dough, and what have you, you're probably going to allocate all those things to be done at the grocery store. You're not going to go get dough and eggs at a grocery store and then later remind yourself that you need other groceries and then take care of that again. That would be wildly inefficient. The switching costs going from whatever you're doing back to the grocery store is going to be substantial. You're doing things multiple times that don't need to be done that many times. Ultimately, you're consolidating all the tasks to be done in one context when you're in one mode. Now, say you're a salesperson. You're always going to be managing your emails in one block of time, your calls in another block of time, and maybe your meetings in an entire separate day, right? You're not going to go from email to call, from email to call. That may just be what has to happen if life is throwing itself at you that way that day. However, if you can manage it differently and actually understand how you can cultivate each mode separately and only switch to that mode once instead of multiple times, you're going to be more effective and you're going to save a lot more time. Similarly, say you have 3 different tasks you're working on. You're working on your day job, you're writing a novel, and you're building an iPhone application on the side, right? So your day job would have to be done in one block of time. You're not going to say to yourself, okay, for these 2 hours of the day, let me work on this, then let me switch over to this the next hour of the day, and then let me schedule back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the 3 of these projects. No. The switching costs alone, you're going to have to open up all the different programs for this app. You're going to have to open up different programs and maybe take out your notebook for writing your novel. These are all things that take up time, and people don't realize travel time, switching costs. These take up time that ultimately accumulate to be substantial amounts of energy that you're sucking up for possibly no reason at all if you merely place things differently on your schedule and understanding the context of what has to be done and when they have to be done. So these things can be determined by context, place, right? If you have to do, like the grocery example, everything has to be done at the grocery store. Things that are needed. If you have to do things on your desktop, perhaps, do everything that has to be done on your desktop while you're on your desktop. Makes sense, right? Some people don't realize this. Do all the things that have to be done on the telephone while you're at the telephone. Get everything done at once. This is especially important for people who are traveling and maybe have a lot on their plate. If you're just a head-down programmer writing code for 10 hours a day, this can still apply when you're working in different sections of the code, right? If 2 things have to get done on one section of the app, but something else has to get done on another section of the app, is it really efficient to load up all the code and maybe the storyboards, asset files, and whatnot for that section twice, and then go back and then come back to do it again? No. Just take care of those tasks that have to be done there, and then do those other tasks that have to be done in the other area. It's very efficient when you think about it. It's the same way that you prevent walking more distance because you're trying to get things done in different blocks of time. Understanding what has to get done and in the most effective manner will make you more efficient and save you much more time. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the corresponding blog post on nickcalabro.com. Now get to work.